Welcome back to Off Gridiron. I'm Josh,
I'm Kush.
and we're back.
Back in my
Noah and
bag,
Garrett are
huh?
still MIA. I don't know. They're
Conscious.
just off in the country somewhere.
Ice up.
We'll see them again
Back in my
someday.
Maybe they're on the injury report. I'm filling in. For
Yeah,
them.
they're on the IR. But we're back. We're going to quickly recap the Bills game, and then we'll move on to the Colts game. Give me your immediate feedback on that Bills game.
Man, this defense is really good. I mean, they
Incredible.
Great. I mean, and then Davis Mills didn't put up great numbers, but he got the job done, and
He got you a W.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I think my immediate reaction after this game is, as long as our defense can do that, I think we would like to see our offense do a little bit better. But hey, it's working right now, so
Yeah.
you're winning games, so can't be mad at that.
yeah, unfortunately, only 3 points from the offense in the whole second half.
Yeah.
But it's all you needed because you only allowed 3 points in the second half with your defense. So, yeah, I mean, I think everybody should be and is looking forward to getting CJ back. We'll get into that later, but the defense showed that they can beat any team. Any team in the league, I think this defense can put you in a position to win the game. Now, the question's always going to be the offense. Can they work things out? But watching Mills, I mean, he didn't put up – his numbers didn't jump off the page, but like you said, he did just enough to win the game. And the main thing I was excited about and I liked from the offense was some of the scheming, some of the plays were really interesting, really worked. Nick Caley is it feels like he's kind of rounding into what his bag is. As first year OC, like you kind of have to figure out your identity. You kind of might know it going into a season. Felt like earlier in the season they were trying a lot of things out. Some worked, a lot didn't. And as we've gone on, it does feel like he's slowly finding those recipes that taste good. He's been experimenting. He's cooked up a few recipes. He's like, oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. I'm putting that in my playbook. And as the season's gone on, that playbook of good recipes has slowly gotten bigger and bigger. And I feel like that's only strengthening as the season goes on. It'd be great if you had CJ at the helm, with the utensils cooking for him. But he's putting the team and Davis Mills in a position to where, all right, this play can work. Davis can complete this pass. Davis can, he's putting Davis in a position to be successful, and it's working so far. And my other big key from the offense that I'm so excited about, Jaden Higgins. I mean, he looks incredible. Obviously, he has some issues to round out. He's young. He's a rookie. Some issues with keeping feet in bounds. Some issues with just being on the same page with the quarterback. But man, the raw talent is there. The separations he's getting, even throws, plays that he didn't catch. I mean, that one to the right side, he got the cornerback just on his ass, and then was wide open. But there was a miscommunication with Davis. The fade to the in the red zone, that he was like, he had the separation, just Davis underthrew it. There's so many plays. If you just watch his game tape, you're like, that's a potential future wide receiver one right there. Yeah. And you have him paired with Nico. I'm really excited about where this team is at and how they performed.
Yeah, you talked about Nick Caley kind of getting his bag a little bit. Lately they've been using motion more.
Yeah.
And that's been getting guys open. And then Jaden Higgins is a good one you brought up, but especially in the Bills game, Christian Kirk caught that touchdown. They've had a hard time just getting him involved in the offense.
Yeah.
And I feel like when they have tried to in the past, it's just incompletions, just miscommunication, all that stuff. But maybe, we've been having this debate between Kirk and Noel all season long.
Yeah.
But maybe this is maybe he'll start getting on a roll now. Maybe he just needed some more reps and
some more time with the.
Maybe he just needed
offense.
to catch a touchdown.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Yeah.
I'm not expecting Christian Kirk to be like 100 receiving yard guy with multiple touchdowns or anything like that. I don't think anybody needs that. But exactly what he did on Thursday is exactly what you need. 5 receptions, 54 yards, a touchdown, 6 targets. 5 receptions on 6 targets. That's solid. Jaden Higgins led the team in targets. He had 9 targets. So they are scheming for him. Either a combination of either they're scheming for him in a way that the Bills had Nico covered, and so they thought, let's just Jaden's getting separation. He's usually one-on-one because they have Nico either double. Nico's where they're focusing their defense. But yeah, I'm excited about that. Who was your MVP of the game? Because there's a few defensive guys that
there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. I would say Will Anderson Jr.
Yeah.
For me, it was between Will Anderson Jr. and Kalen Bullock. I thought Kalen Bullock played an amazing
incredible
game.
Yeah,
he played a great game. I mean, this is an offensive line that was ranked very high all season long. It's a great offensive line that they made look like one of the worst in the league. I mean, they were dominating them. They had them so bad that Deion Dawkins was making excuses after the game. Like, that's how good this defense was.
It was bad. How many? It was 8 sacks.
8 sacks, yeah.
Will Anderson had 2.5. Daniil Hunter had 2. Henry Toa had 1. Derek Barnett had 1. Mario Edwards Jr. had half. That's crazy.
Yeah, so it wasn't just the edge guys.
Tim Settle Jr. had 1 as well.
It was the guys inside. It was everybody on the defensive line.
Yeah, no, incredible. I mean, that's exactly what it was pretty much the peak of what Texans fans think and have thought this Texans defense can be. The defensive line shutting down the trenches and the cornerbacks just having clamped. We talked about before the game on our preview, we talked about Keon Johnson being out. Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
Keon Coleman being out and the tight end Kincaid,
yep.
God. And who they had to go to, and it was Shakir. He had a couple big plays. He had a fumble that was big for us. And then they had that. Let's finish off the recap with talk about that 4th and 27.
Yeah,
I thought the game was over.
An insane play. Yeah,
I thought the game was over. I thought season was over. Yeah. I thought it was all done.
Unfortunately, us as Texans fans are used to giving up those types of plays and losing the game.
Like, there it is.
But they found a way. Credit to the defense for just sticking with it the next couple plays, and Kalen Bullock getting that interception.
It was very much like they could have folded after that. They could have said, and got beat themselves up and just not been focused. But credit to the coaching staff and to that defense for locking right back in and making a huge stop. And the fact that it was a 4-point game at that point goes back to what we previewed on the preview. Matt Prater. I think I said something along the lines of he's going to make the difference because he sucks. and he missed a very early extra point. And if that game was a 3-point game at that point, the Bills kick a field goal, tie it, and we go to OT. I was watching that. I was laying in bed, and my fiance was like, "Is the game over yet? Like, what the hell?" And I was like, this is the last play, literally last play, 4th 27. It's over. Last play of the game, and then I'll put it away. And then she locked in and watched it with me, and I was just like, no way. I was like, oh, it's over. We lost.
Lost. I mean, that 4th and 27 really goes back to the only way that the Bills could really move the ball against us all day was with the screens.
Yeah,
and that was another screen that. Probably should have tackled better, but I mean, when you're missing a guy like Dalton Kincaid, and when you don't have a guy that can win one-on-ones with Keon Coleman, that's how you have to get yards. And we won the game, and they gave those up, but everything else we shut down. So I think overall the defense played a great game.
No, I agree. So we move on to this week, big divisional matchup. You have the Texans going to Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are 8-3.
8-3.
8-3. Texans are 6-5. If you can pull this off, Colts 8-4, Texans 7-5. you are within shot of the division. I'd say this is the biggest game of the season. I mean, every game's kind of the biggest game of the season.
I feel like every next game is the biggest game of the season.
But like this is for sure the biggest game of the season at this point because if you lose this, then division's out.
Yeah.
And you're just hoping for a wild card. If you win this, division's very much at play because you play the Colts again and you play some beatable teams in Arizona and Las Vegas. So you're sitting there with a good chance to take a strike at the division. Let's get into this preview. Let's get into the keys. What are your thoughts? What are your initial thoughts going into this game?
I think number one, defensively, I expect them to have a strong game pass rush wise. Number two, you have to limit Jonathan Taylor because in the Colts and Chiefs game this past week, the Chiefs did a pretty good job of limiting Jonathan Taylor.
It was incredible to watch.
That's how they were able to get back in the game and win that game.
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to be important. And then number three for the offense, it's Nico Collins' house. Feed him the ball.
Yeah.
Like feed him the ball early and often and let him dominate.
Yeah. No, I agree. It was incredible how they stopped Jonathan Taylor. If you look at team total yards per game for offenses, Indianapolis is second in the league behind Dallas with 384 per game. So that is a hard thing to stop, and that's a big thing that the defense needs to focus on. I mean, obviously the Texans are first in the league at opponent yards per game allowed. So you have the second best offense in the league as far as yards per game, and the best defense as far as yards per game. So it's going to be it's going to be fun. I'm excited. I think that's definitely one of the keys is stopping Jonathan Taylor. We have a key from, OTG host and legend Garrett. His key of the game is, getting Woody Marks active in the screen game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
because the Colts pass rush is good, and so I think there will be opportunities there to
quick dump offs and
get him the ball. Game. Yeah, yep.
Yeah. That's his key. I think my key is similar to stopping Jonathan Taylor. I think it's gonna be Jaden Higgins again for me. I think as much as I want Nico to go off, I think teams' thought is make the rookie beat us. Clamp down on Nico and make the rookie Jaden Higgins beat us. And I think he can. Obviously, if the Texans are going to win this game, this needs to be a low-scoring game. This needs to be another just down to the wire, 19 to 17 or something like that. I think the key is clearly the Texans' offense because this defense can hold a team to under 21 points, but can this offense get moving? And part of that is CJ Stroud back? It's not. We're recording this right now, Wednesday at 11:30 in the morning, and it has not been announced that CJ Stroud is back. Well, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a crazy situation, but I felt like when he took that hit, just the way that he curled his fingers up, I thought it was pretty severe. And I just think the Texans as an organization are really like player interest driven, and they're going to protect their players, obviously, with concussions. You're going to be extra protective of that.
Yeah.
And so if they announce it, I don't think it's going to be like until later in the week. And honestly, I don't really think it's like a team like coaching strategy thing where you want to hide your injury report from like the other team. I just think they're being like enough. Very, very cautious.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. You don't want another like Tua or some other players in the league that they get that first concussion and then they're more susceptible to later concussions, and they can be rushed back. And then I feel like the quicker they're rushed back, the more likely it is to happen again. That's my scientific opinion. I'm a medical doctor. I'm not. But yeah, I mean, if you're telling me CJ needs to miss, 3 more weeks and he'll be good for like the playoffs or just the future, then I'll say okay. But like, I don't think it is, but I think some of the fan base thinks it is. Like, if it's like we're slow playing CJ because Davis is and the team is rolling right now. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah,
but
I don't think that's the case either. I think
just,
D'Amico even came out like they asked him on Monday or whenever it was, like, "Hey, what's CJ good? Like, is he good?" And his answer was, "Whenever CJ's good, he's gonna be out there." So I
don't know.
I honestly think it's a week by week thing, though. I'm sure they're constantly reevaluating it, and then
I mean, where does your percentage the Texans can win this game with CJ and without CJ? Where are you at? Without CJ, I'm at like a 50-50.
Honestly, I think it's pretty close because even with CJ Stroud, like CJ Stroud's good.
Yeah,
he's great. Okay, franchise quarterback, but our offense still has the same deficiencies with both of these guys out. I don't even think it's a quarterback thing. I just think it's the offense as a whole thing.
I agree, but at the same time, I think this offense where it's at, the other players and the other players in the scheming, where it's at now compared to where it was at when CJ last played a full game before the Broncos game, I think it's totally different.
Yeah.
I think Nick Caley, like we said, he's been adding more plays to his cookbook. And guys like Higgins have started to step up. Kirk's kind of getting his thing going. Schultz has been getting better, especially at the blocking game. Gridiron Marks is showing up a little more. I think everything in the offense has been improving week to week, but CJ, I'm excited to see what that means with CJ.
Yeah,
because I like Davis. I think he's a really great backup. I think he's probably one of the best backups in the league as far as just solid consistency. He's not going to go out there and throw 5 interceptions and gunsling and ruin your game. He's doing a good enough job to win you games, which is what you want. That's great. But he's not one to make the other guys better around him.
Right.
But I'm thinking you add CJ to this slowly improving offense, and I'm like, I want to see what they can do. I want to see what they really can do, because I think CJ at the top of his game with this current offense, how it's improving, it could be incredible. I memean, minus when Tank Dell was rolling with the offense, it could be one of the best offenses CJ's had. I mean, that's a crazy hot take, but we can't prove it yet. But I really like the direction that this offense is going with the scheming, with the weapons they have. You finally have like a really, like, Mixon was great, but I really like what Woody Marks can be, and I think it's more complementary to this offense and would be to CJ for quick dump offs and stuff like that. So it's really frustrating. We went into this podcast thinking, oh, we can just title it CJ's back and we can keep rolling. And then we're looking at it and we're like, they still haven't announced it. There's no like true signs point. There's not even any like rumors or thoughts of like, oh, he'll be back. Watching the game on Thursday, on the broadcast, they said something like, oh, the game's on Thursday. If it was a regular Sunday game, CJ would be starting. Like, somebody told the broadcast that. Somebody leaked that to them. So I thought, oh, okay, if he would have been starting, if the game was 4 days later, then he's definitely starting a week and a half later, right? Still no indication. Without that, let's get into previewing a little bit more the nuts and bolts of this game and exactly what that means. But first, let's get to a word from our sponsor, Underdog. Football season is in full swing, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Playing Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players should go higher or lower on certain stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. Get your picks right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. This week, Texans versus Colts. I think my pick is a shoe-in. I think this is anytime Nico Collins goes into a game with a clear like we have to stop this guy, they've been successful at stopping that guy. And I think clearly going into this game, your mission is to stop a guy named Jonathan Taylor. So I think the Texans can hold Jonathan Taylor lower than 85.5 rushing yards this Sunday. That is my pick.
I don't think that's a stretch.
I don't think so. 85.5 is high. Texans usually, they held James Cook to 116.
He had the 145-yard.
Yeah, the 45-yard. I forgot about the 45-yard. Outside of that, he wasn't like super effective.
They did a pretty good job on him. Besides, the big 45-yarder.
Yeah, he broke through that. That's my bad. I forgot about that one. But outside of that, he'd be under 85. Just saying. I think they're gonna stop it. I do think their 1 or 2 touchdowns might be scored by Jonathan Taylor on a short yardage goal line. Yeah, I think that's where the Texans struggle a little bit still with some goal line stands sometimes. So yeah, that's my pick. What's your pick?
I'm gonna go Dalton Schultz higher than 39.5 receiving yards.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like whoever the quarterback is having that safety blanket in Schultz to dump off to in a big divisional rival game. I like that. I like that a lot.
My reasoning for that is I just think there was a play, I believe in the first quarter where they were going to Dalton Schultz deep.
Yeah.
They're giving it to him on the little play action rollouts in the flat. And then they have him lined up, wide in these tight sets and motioning him outside. So I think they're kind of trying to like feature him a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think this week, especially with their pass rush, the tight end is a very, very important position in this game as far as like safety blanket. So yeah. I think they're going to try to get that going a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, those are our picks. For more from Underdog, take it away, Garrett.
This episode is sponsored by Underdog. Let me tell you about Underdog real quick.
Tell them.
Football is in full swing, and the best place to go is Underdog. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and a whole lot more. Get your picks right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. 5,000. Playing on Underdog during football season is my favorite. I love taking Nico Collins receptions higher, obviously. And I'll take a little CJ Stroud passing yards on the occasion. Higher, obviously. Love my Texans. Download the app today. Sign up with promo code OTG to score $100 in bonus funds and entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code OTG. Underdog. Make picks. Win money. Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Again, thank you so much to Underdog, and get out there and win some money. Do it.
OTG. Thanks, Garrett. Use Underdog, code OTG, make picks, win money. All right, let's get into our X factors for the game. One guy that you think is going to, your prediction for a guy that's going to stand out and make a big difference in this game.
So I'm going to go kind of outside the box here. It's not a position player for me.
Okay.
For me, it's Trent Brown.
Oh, okay.
Ever since he's been healthy, he's been in there. The run offense looks better. They're getting him outside on these, outside runs, and these safeties and corners, when they see a 380-pound guy coming right at them, they just want to get out of the way.
That's fair.
And so, they've been getting these outside runs going a little bit. And, I think Trent Brown, like, if he's able to stay healthy, he's kind of changing the entire complexion of his offensive line right now.
Wow.
And what that offense can do. So
okay,
I think he's gonna be a big factor.
I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, with how good the Colts rushing defense is, passing defense is, pass rush. That's the word I was looking for. That's really important. Kind of going with that, my X factor for the game is Woody Marks. I think this is last week Woody Marks had his most rushing yards, I think, on the season, 74. Let me look at his game log here. Yeah, 74 was his most. Oh my God, got an ad playing on the ESPN website. 74 was his career high. I think he's topping that again this week. I think he might have his first 100-yard rushing game. I think he breaks off for a big one. I think he over, at least from scrimmage, has over 100 yards, whether it's with screens, whether it's rushing straight up. I think Woody Marks is the X factor in this game here. Final thing, let's get into score predictions. You're in Indianapolis, a game that pretty much decides the division, this one and the next one with them. What is your score prediction this week?
I'm going to go 24-16 Texans.
Wow.
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game.
Week. Yeah. So Texans, what, three TDs and a field goal?
Yeah. Obviously it depends who the quarterback is, but
yeah.
I mean, even if it's Davis Mills, I still trust this offense just because of like the Trent Brown factor.
Yeah.
He's been okay in pass protection, but I think he's been more important in the run game. And like you said, if Woody Marks can get going, those outside runs, those draws, those screens like Garrett talked about.
Okay.
They just got to score in the red zone, man.
They just got to score in the red zone. Okay. I am doing something similar, but I'm a little more optimistic. I've been saying all season, and I've been kind of wrong a little bit, but for a while there, I was saying the Colts were frauds. They've proven to be better than even that, but I still think there's some fraudulence going on there. I mean, they got beat by a not great Chiefs team. They kind of crumbled there. I'm going 27-13. I think this team, the Texans are, like I said, starting to roll. I think Woody Marks gets a touchdown. I think there's 2 passing touchdowns. I think they are able to move down the field decent enough to get a few field goals. And I think this defense just shuts. I think they're going to have Daniel Jones in triple hell. I think he's going to be lost.
I like the Colts offensive line, but I mean, I think even more so after watching our defense against that Bills offensive line.
Yeah.
This defense can get pressure on anybody. They're going to stop the run. I think that's going to be their number one focus, stopping Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
And if they're able to do that and get that pass rush going, it's going to be hard for Daniel Jones to just operate as a quarterback.
No, yeah, and I forgot to get Noah's key for the game. I wanted to make sure we got that in there. He was saying that they think we'll stop JT, will force Daniel to throw, and to look out for Tyler Warren against our linebackers in coverage. So I think that is a good point. A little over the middle shots to tight ends and slot receivers. I think that's the key for the Colts, because I think in our defense, our linebackers are still probably the weakest part of our defense. Some issues there. So over the middle, dump passes to Tyler Warren. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he's the Colts' highest receiver on Sunday. But yeah, I think I'm still sticking with my 27-13. You said 24-16.
24-16.
So we're pretty close. Yeah. I'm a little more optimistic.
I think
I'm at 2 field goals.
Kind of backtracking on what Noah said about Tyler Warren. I think if Jalen Petrie plays, as good as I think Tyler Warren is going to be in the league, I think that gives us the advantage because
getting Petrie back this week is huge.
Yeah,
almost as big as CJ.
Yeah.
It's really big.
Because I think Petrie allows you to just be more flexible as a defense. You don't have to be in base all the time, and stopping that tight end is important.
Yeah. All right. That's our pod. Kind of a recap and preview before Thanksgiving, getting this pod out, and then everybody, It's a fun weekend of football.
It is, yeah.
Got games Thursday, got a game Friday, and then a bunch of games Sunday, Monday. Great weekend for football. Great weekend for Texans. I love a Texans noon game. As much as I love a little primetime game, Texans at noon just feels right. Feels like home. Wake up on a Sunday, excited for the game at noon. I'm really excited for this one. Big divisional game. Yeah. Any last words about this game or to the audience?
Man, I said it last week. If we win this game, I think the entire country is going to start paying attention to us.
Yeah, I mean 7-5. No matter how ugly it was to get here, you're sitting here at this point at 7-5. You have some hard teams left to play, some easier teams left to play. 10-7 seems very much in reach at that point. The division seems pretty much it seems possible at that point, especially with another game with the Colts. That's huge. If you can be at 7-5. If a month ago I told you this Texans team is going to end up, they'll be at 7-5 after week 13 and have one game out of the division. I think most Texans fans are like, shut up, no way.
Yeah.
With where they were sitting at one point.
I would have called you crazy, that's for sure.
Yeah. So they're right there. You just got to execute on Sunday, and we'll see what happens. And we'll be back with you next week.
Yeah, and then I think the entire Texans fan base before the Bills game was kind of, questioning how good this team could be. Can they beat these teams?
Can they beat a good team?
But I think after they beat the Bills at home with that defense playing like they did, man, if your defense can keep you in any game, you can beat anybody in the league.
You can beat anybody, and I think the Colts fall under anybody.
Yeah. They do, yeah.
I think if my math checks out. So, yeah, we will see you next week. Have a good, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Watch some football, and we'll see you next time.
Back in my bag and I ain't gotta brag, I do this shit for real. When we was down and we had nothing, we had to share a meal. We put the shit in overdrive with no steering